The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank announced on Tuesday that it will be launching an EC dollar digital currency known as the CBDC using blockchain technology. The ECCB digital currency pilot project will be undertaken by BIT, a technology company from Barbados that is experienced in handling digital currency projects and is estimated to last 18 months starting within a year from now. The project will cost $8 million from start to implementation throughout the entire ECCU. 3 countries will be involved in the pilot initially. At a media conference on Tuesday at the ECCB, Governor of the Central Bank, Timothy Antwine, explained how this digital currency is expected to work.
The DXD, a digital dollar, will be used for financial transactions between consumers and merchants, including peer-to-peer transactions, all using smart devices. The objective of this pilot project is to assess the potential efficiency and welfare gains that could be achieved: deeper financial inclusion, faster economic growth, resilience, and competitiveness in the ECCU from the introduction of a digital sovereign currency.
Governor Antwine, in explaining the motivation behind launching this digital currency, said for the region to improve in its development prospects and performance, the digital transition must be expedited.
Here in the ECCU, we have to make sure time doesn't pass us by. We can no longer be patient when our economies and people demand transformation. I say the time to act is now. I issue a clarion call for partnership. We invite all of our banks, financial institutions, non-bank financial institutions to join us in this endeavor, to make their wallet services available so that we can test and learn from this experience. We also invite our telecommunication service providers and other technology companies to join in this effort, as together we develop a digital ecosystem from which our region can reap huge digital dividends.
And why did the ECCB decide to work with BIT on this project?
BIT first approached the ECCB about 2 years ago with the idea of a digital EC dollar. As we continued thinking about the transformation of the ECCU, we became intrigued by the possibility of a digital fiat currency for our region. At that time, we were finalizing our strategic plan, and we made a decision to test and learn more about this idea through a pilot. 5 months after the launch of our plan, we signed an MOU with BIT in March of last year to collaborate on this idea, and so our journey to this pilot began.
Meanwhile, Rawdon Adams, CEO of BIT, told journalists that this digital currency will help reduce the cost of doing business compared to a cash-driven system.
The cost of cash in particular is a good example. We knew when we started talking with the ECCB, for example, and I'm sure the governor will correct me if I get this wrong, but typically it costs the central bank here about $3.5 million US on average over the last 6 to 8 years simply to replace note and coin. So from a very simple operational perspective, it does make sense to see if you can lower that cost and do so in a way that has wider beneficial ramifications, and those trickle down into the economy. Businesses, and we've seen this from our work in Barbados, so this is not theory, this is practice. Supermarkets, for example, which have a very large cash take, have come to see that just as normal, as structural. Yet for every dollar of physical cash that they can move to digital form, they make very significant savings. We have worked with a supermarket in Barbados where those savings can be over 80 or 90%. It depends exactly on what they're doing.
The governor disclosed that the CBDC pilot involves a securely minted and issued digital version of the EC dollar. The digital EC dollar will be issued by the ECCB and distributed by licensed bank and non-banking financial institutions in the ECCU. He said the pilot will be executed in 2 phases, development and testing for about 12 months, followed by rollout and implementation in pilot countries for about 6 months. Throughout the 18-month period of the pilot, there will be education initiatives to facilitate active public engagement throughout all member countries. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.